You're 2 years old. Khoikhoi tribe, South Africa. 1791. Your mom's gone. Her body's laid in a shallow grave, marked by a pile of stones. You hold on to her tortoise-shell necklace. Its smooth curves warm in your tiny hands, although you don't get the full picture yet. Your dad, a rugged cattle driver with skin cracked, kneels beside you, his spear planted in the earth. His eyes, usually sharp as an eagle, weakens with a pain that touches you. He pulls you close and whispers, "She's with the stars now." It is during this time Dutch commandos are closing in on the Khoikhoi land. They're all over the area. Your people, the Khoikhoi, are caught in the chaos, facing slavery. At 15, you're trailing your dad on a cattle drive. Raiders strike again like lightning. Arrows whistle through the air, sharp and deadly, slicing through the chaos as cattle go down and men scream. Blood stains the leaves, and your dad, he's gone, mixed in the dust, his spear useless beside him. The raiders vanish, leaving you orphaned, no family, no relatives, just a 15-year-old girl staring at a world that's turned savage. Now you're 16, the Dutch had taken over the Khoikhoi land and beyond. Here you are, toiling like a machine on Dutch farmland near the river. The air's thick with the stench of earth and manure choking your lungs. The sun's pounding down like a hammer from the heavens, sweat pouring down your face, mixing with tears you fight to hide. Your hands shake as you rake the cracked, dry soil, blisters bursting on palms already scarred from a year of grinding work. Just months ago, life kicked you again. Your Khoikhoi husband was killed by Dutch colonists, probably over some petty land dispute. Then your baby, a tiny spark of hope, slipped away from fever, leaving your arms empty. You're alone in this colonized village, no one to claim you, no one to care. The Dutch own everything now. You work from dawn to dusk for scraps, a crusty loaf of bread, a handful of cornmeal, and maybe a coin so worthless. Soon after, your body starts changing. Puberty's hitting, and your backside, that natural curve of prominent buttocks from the fats you've been eating, a Khoikhoi trait built for survival in harsh lands, but you didn't know it's a condition called steatopygia, which is an excessive fat accumulation of the buttocks, usually seen in women and often called Hottentot bustle because it was commonly seen in the Hottentot people of southern Africa. But yours, more excessive compared to other women, which makes you stand out. The Dutch farmers stare at you all the time. There are whispers labeling you exotic and ripe, like you're some rare animal. You feel their eyes crawling over you. Now you're 18. Suddenly, someone approaches you. A free black man with mixed roots rides up, his face hard as chiseled stone, eyes sharp like a hawk locking onto prey. He swings off his horse with a swagger, not asking but inspecting. Opens up your mouth to check your teeth, squeezing your arms and feet like your livestock about to be used for a feast. "You'll do," he says. Tells you about a move to Cape Town, promising better work in buzzing city. Skeptical but desperate, you nod. Well, what choice do you have? You hop into his ox wagon, the wooden cart rumbling over dirt tracks, days start to fade. Dust clouds choking the air as you hold on tight to your tortoise-shell necklace, heat thumping with doubt while the Eastern Cape fades behind. You roll into Cape Town, now under British control since 1806. Slaves from Asia and Africa hustle through the streets. You land in the Caesar's household. Peter and his brother Hendrik. Life becomes intense for you. As a maid, you're on your knees all the time, scrubbing floors in stuffy rooms. The air thick with soap's scent. You're under duress as Hendrik's wife always stares at you like a threat. Her ice-cold stares instill hatred. However, a spark ignites when you meet Hendrik van Jong, a Dutch soldier, while you were stealing moments of peace by the harbor. But his regiment sails off, leaving you pregnant, and then another punch in the face. Your child dies young, a loss buried in a vague record. You can't even account for what's happening in your life. Loneliness claws at you in this urban jungle. The only good thing about you is your body drawing stares that burn. You grab that necklace, a lifeline to your past. It's your only source of hope. Things are about to take a dark turn for you at 21. You're in a cramped kitchen when Hendrik Caesar's drowning in debts rolls up with his friend Alexander Dunlop. Dunlop's eyes shine like a predator's, dipping with opportunism as he tells you about the wild tales of Europe. Riches, adventure, a life beyond the suffering. He proposes a contract. It entails exhibitions, servitude, shared profits, and a ticket home in 5 years. It sounds so good to be true. You hesitate for a while, but you finally give in. Well, you're illiterate, so you sign by marking down X. You're hustled onto a ship bound for London, the voyage a straight-up nightmare. Weeks of rolling seas, crammed below deck in a stinking hold reeking of bad odor, sweat, and sickness. Your stomach's playing your local drum under stormy skies. You clutch your tortoise shell necklace, a lifeline to home. Europe in 1810, a post-Napoleonic mess where Britain's banned the slave trade, but racism's alive and kicking. London hits you like a slap. This is where your nightmare begins. You're thrown into the spotlight as Hottentot Venus, a demeaning name intended to mock you and your hoi-hoi people. Classic men in tall top hats, women in bonnets playing over 2 shillings to stare, touch, and poke. Dressed in a skin-tight, flesh-colored garment that hugs every curve, you stand on a raised platform. Feathers planted in your hair as cheap, exotic props. Beads dangling, even smoking a pipe to spice up the spectacle. The air is thick with whispers and ungodly looks, fingers jabbing at your body. A natural backside trait from your harsh homeland, now twisted into a sideshow horror. Pain ribs through you as the crowd laughs in excitement. Then, hope sparks. Some abolitionist Englishmen at the time, fired up against the slave trade, spot your brutal condition and jump in to fight for you. They drag your case to the Court of King's Bench, led by the African Association. Their plea states that you're basically enslaved and living in harsh conditions. You stand in the courtroom with a Dutch interpreter at your side, stammering you're not abused, and you get paid well. Discover that you've been tricked into signing a contract you can't fully attest to. The judge squints, sees you don't fully get the deal you signed, and rules to lighten your workload and boost your paycheck. It's a small win, but not freedom. However, 1814. These noble Englishmen you felt were your saviors sell you off like livestock to an animal trainer with a circus vibe. Shipped to Paris, the city's a mix of glitz and gloom. Your new owner parades you for 15 grueling months, nearly naked in just a loincloth, a collar around your neck like a pet. You're caged alongside a baby rhino or orangutan, commanded to walk, turn, dance, and cue, playing your harp like a trained act in dehumanizing circus. You take gin regularly to down the shame, also possibly fueling your decline into illness. But the real punch? You're hauled into Museum d'Histoire Naturelle for a 3-day probe by big-shot anatomists. George Cuvier, the comparative anatomy boss, Henry de Blainville, and Etienne Geoffroy Saint-Hilaire. They treat you like a lab rat in sterile rooms, cold instruments measuring every inch. They're obsessed with your buttocks and rumored elongated labia, sketching furiously, deeming you ape-like with monkey energy and orangutan ears, all this just to satisfy their racist crap, positioning you as the missing link to justify slavery. You're humiliated for being experimented on. 1815, Paris, and the weight of the world finally breaks you. At just 26, you're Sara Baartman, a hoi-hoi woman, wasting away in a cold room in a city that's chewed you up. Your body shakes with fever. Smallpox? Pneumonia? Or syphilis? Nobody knows for sure. A final loophole in your tragic tale. You clutch your tortoise shell necklace. Its familiar curves make you think about home, but exhaustion wins and you slip away. Then the ultimate violation. Georges Cuvier, the so-called scientist, obtains your remains and cuts into you, pickling your brain, genitals, and skeleton in jars like some trophy. Your plaster cast body, cold and lifeless, stands in the Musée d'Ille-Home, gawked at by crowds. A sick monument to the racism that caged you. Even in death, there is no peace for you.